when you look at how this game unfolded, Jeremiah, you felt like the first quarter plus how the game needed to go for Nebraska.
Good evening, everybody, and good afternoon. My name is Jeremy Scheib in the studio with you here at KBBN and KCNI, dropping in to tell you a little bit about the severe weather that is coming into our area as the Husker game has just gone final. We will come back to that coverage as it is running in the background at the moment. We'll come back to that coverage and have more post-game for you as we work into the post-game of that Huskers loss. But want to make sure to tell you about this storm that is bringing in a severe thunderstorm warning for much of our listening area. At 2:22 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 12 miles south of Dunning or 22 miles northeast of Stapleton, moving southeast at 20 miles an hour. Hazards include 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. This is all radar indicated at this time. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. You can also expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Anselmo, Victoria Springs State Recreation Area, as well as Pleasant Hill. Now, this includes the following highways. This would be Highway 2 between mile markers 249 and 265, Highway 92 between mile markers 257 and 270. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Again, those of you that are watching the live stream, which is currently on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages, have a visual when it comes to this storm. The strongest part of this storm right now is moving to the southeast in a direct line towards the communities of Myrna as well as Broken Bow. Anselmo kind of on the eastern part of some of the more intense part of this storm. But as far as the part that we're keeping the closest eye on with the heaviest rainfall and that hail indication is on the western side of the storm. And again, it is more headed towards the Myrna direction between Arnold and Myrna at this time. So again, as this storm progresses, this is looking like it is tracking its direction right towards Myrna and Broken Bow and on kind of almost following Highway 2 when it dips straighter south from the Anselmo and beyond location to the east. So we'll continue to keep an eye on this storm and continue to keep you updated as this storm progresses. But again, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. This has 37 minutes remaining in it. This is issued for Custer County, and this is northwestern Custer County. Hazards with this storm include 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well as quarter-size hail. This is all radar indicated at this time, and hail damage to vehicles is expected. You can also expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. So as you have some time, move those vehicles into a safe place, maybe into a garage if you can, and prepare for this storm to make its way into our area. An interior room on the lowest level of your home is where you should be at this time in order to prepare for this storm. We'll go ahead and take a look and see if any weather reports are coming in regarding this storm as it moves across the area. As I load that up, I do want to remind you that the live stream, for those of you that are listening on the radio, that live stream is available to you on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages if you would like a visual with this storm as well. And again, I'm trying to get this report loaded up here. Let's see here. 60-mile-an-hour radar indicated at this time with this storm. Also hail in 1.5-inch diameter. Also radar indicated with this storm making its way into Custer County. Again, that is the one that is causing the severe thunderstorm warning for Custer County until 3:15. Also another note here saying the strong thunderstorm will impact northwestern Custer and south central Blaine counties through 2:30. We're obviously past that point now. That storm has progressed a little bit further and is making its way towards Highway 2. Again, the strongest part of this storm kind of popping up on the western edge of it, making its way to the stretch of Highway 2 in between Anselmo and Myrna. Kind of looks like it's going easterly at enough of a pace that maybe the lower end of it will maybe skirt past Broken Bow, but again, we'll just have to kind of see how that storm progresses and how that all goes along as we work our way further into this storm coverage. So again, we'll continue to keep you updated. We'll keep an eye on things. I'll pop back in again and give you a little bit more information on this storm as it progresses. Coverage that we are progressing on as this storm makes its way into our listening area a little bit further. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning has been placed in effect for much of our listening area, mostly northwestern and on into central Custer County. The severe thunderstorm warning has been issued and will remain into effect until 3:15. This storm was located 9 miles west of Anselmo, 24 miles northwest of Broken Bow, moving to the southeast at 20 miles an hour. Hazards now include 2-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Again, this is all radar indicated at this time. I'll continue to keep an eye on the different reports that are coming in from weather spotters across our listening area to see if those can be confirmed on the ground. But at this time, people and animals outdoors are expected to be injured with this storm. We can expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. You can also expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted with this storm include Anselmo, Victoria Springs State Recreation Area, as well as Pleasant Hill. This area includes Highway 2 between mile markers 249 and 265, Highway 92 between mile markers 257 and 270 as well. Again, for your protection, you are expected to move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building to prepare for this storm. Again, as I look at some of the weather reports that are coming in, considerable damage threats being indicated with this storm, 60-mile-an-hour winds still being radar indicated as it moves across the area. The hail report has gone from being 1.5 inches in diameter to 2 inches in diameter. Again, that is still radar indicated at this time. So we start to hear some thunder here at our KCNI KBBN studios. We watch as this storm progresses on the visual. For those of you that are watching on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook page, you see that Anselmo very much in the line of this storm. As far as the more impactful part of this storm, Myrna maybe a little bit more in the line of this storm as it moves its way to the southeast. So again, if you are in the path of this storm as you see it on the live stream or on your own personal devices, you need to move to an interior room on the lowest level away from windows in your home to be prepared for this storm. Again, people and animals outdoors will be injured. We can expect significant hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles as a part of this storm, as well as wind damage to those same items as well. Locations expected to be impacted include Anselmo, Victoria Springs State Recreation Area, and Pleasant Hill. And again, as this storm progresses, there is a little bit of a tail that is coming up on the western half of the storm that is kind of forming as well just north of Stapleton. We'll continue to keep an eye on that part of the storm as well, as it's kind of tracking at the same speed and direction as the main part of the storm, which has popped up on the Saturday afternoon on us as well. So again, we'll continue to keep an eye on this storm. We'll watch for some different reports that are coming in from weather spotters and the Storm Prediction Center in North Platte as well as in Hastings, and we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more on this storm. For the time being, we'll pop back over to the Huskers postgame, and I'll be back shortly to tell you a little bit more.
But I don't want to take any credit away from them. I thought that they made an adjustment and they just threw a couple balls up on third down that hurt us. And the screen game. You know, they went to the screen game because we were kind of showing max splits. And even when we were dropping out underneath it, they did a good job of going and getting on guys. So, you know, that was one of those games where we kind of needed to pick a ball off or something and get the ball to the offense and get something going. Because, it was 13-7, 14-7. Even the final score, we're kind of going for it on fourth down and all those things. I'm always going to play to win. I'm not going to play to not win. But I think Sean Lewis is a great offensive coordinator. They got a ton of skill. They got a great young quarterback. I think probably the screen game was the thing. Second half.
Take one more for Coach. It's a small thing, but that's the 3rd and 18 in the first half. Like, Jeff runs out of bounds.
Ready to roll out to help you out of a tough situation. Hunter wants you to remember the Move Over law in Nebraska. It is the law to move over for any emergency vehicle with their flashing lights, including tow trucks and highway workers. Slow down, move over, and help make the job of law enforcement and emergency workers safer. When you need a tow, call Hunter's Towing at 870-1983.
Taylor Heating and Cooling, LLC, the guys you call when you're sweating and want to be chilly or shivering when you want to be warm. Based in Broken Bow, Taylor Heating and Cooling offers the area affordable service, repairs, and installation. Whether residential, commercial, or new construction, they welcome the opportunity to work for you. Give them a call and ask about their many services. 872-6196 or visit TaylorHeatingandCoolingBB.com.
In the age of the internet, everyone feels that there's a do-it-yourself solution to everything. When it comes to hail damage repair, there isn't a better solution than a shop that employs professionals who use state-of-the-art equipment and techniques. That's Fixed Right Auto Body. To get your ride back on the road looking sharp, Fixed Right is the place to talk to. Whether it's paintless dent repair or not, we work with insurance to make the process as smooth as possible. Literally, Fixed Right Auto Body in Broken Bow, just north of the police station on 10th Avenue in Broken Bow.
No one knows electrical safety better than the experts who practice it every day. Custer Public Power encourages you to practice safety with this reminder for during and after a summer storm. When lightning strikes a home during a storm, the electrical charge can surge through pipes and utility wires. That means you can get zapped if you're touching water or any device that's plugged in, including corded phones. Avoid wires and water. Stop, think, safety first. This message from Custer Public Power District.
Tie downs, straps, hooking up the trailer, backing up the trailer, undoing the straps, unloading the trailer, parking the trailer. Then you get to start the project. We'll skip straight to getting to work with the help of Ansley Lumber and Supply with their offering of delivery. The only question is, what new hobby will you pick up with that spare time? From whole home packages to reliable brands of shingles, decking, windows, premium lumber, and more. Ansley Lumber, downtown Ansley.
On air, online, and on the app. Severe weather coverage is on Central Nebraska's news source. Here's Jeremy Shipe.
Again, everyone, thank you for joining me on KBBN Radio. I know many of you are wanting to hear the Nebraska postgame, but as that game has gone final and we have this storm moving into our area, we want to, of course, keep you informed on it and keep you safe. My name is Jeremy Shipe, and to give you an update on this storm, it looks like as far as the hazards with this storm, they're kind of being shot straight at us. It's remaining the same as it was at the beginning, up to 60-mile-an-hour winds being reported with this storm, as well as now 2-inch in diameter hail. It was not that long ago we were reporting 1.5-inch diameter hail with this storm as it moved into the area. Now, we do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings that those of you that are watching on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages will see. They're actually stacked up on top of each other, and I'll tell you a little bit about both of these. One is a severe Okay, so we are back after what I was just about to say. As the EAS alert comes through, the severe thunderstorm warning that you just heard is the one that was added in addition to the other. And it is stacked underneath or on top of, whichever way you want to look, the other severe thunderstorm warning, but more in a concentrated area, almost about the same shape as well. We also should let you know that a severe thunderstorm watch has been put in effect, and that has over 6 hours remaining in it. So this might be the beginning of a stormy night. At least that's what the National Weather Service is predicting when it comes to that severe thunderstorm watch. And again, these severe thunderstorm warnings are because of this storm that is moving to the southeast at a rate of about 15 miles an hour now, as this storm continues to slow down a little bit and put the brakes on. This severe thunderstorm was most recently located 7 miles southwest of Anselmo, or 20 miles northwest of Broken Bow, moving to the southeast at 15 miles an hour, again with 2-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. This is all radar indicated at this time. You are going to be expecting hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. You can also expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. People and animals outdoors will be injured. Highway 2 between mile markers 258 and 266, as well as Highway 92 between mile markers 259 and 270 will be impacted. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Again, we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings stacked on top of each other. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch that is put in effect for much of central Nebraska for the next 6 hours. So again, this storm, as we look at it on radar on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook live stream, this storm is kind of moving and morphing as far as its strongest core and the way that it looks in its core. But we still are seeing a little bit of pink indicated on the radar. Those are usually the parts of the storm that are indicating the greatest chance for hail. Right now, that appears to, as this radar is a little bit behind by a few minutes, I'd venture to guess that that area is just west of Myrna. A still pretty intense part of this storm is going to be impacting Myrna very soon, if not already. So again, right after Myrna, this storm kind of tracking its way right down Highway 2 towards Broken Bow. So now is the time to be prepared and get ready for this storm to impact the area as it comes across. We also mentioned that western tail of this storm that we were kind of keeping an eye on. That has also brought up its own severe thunderstorm warning out in the western part of this storm. So as this storm kind of expands out to the west and kind of starts to affect things out that direction as well, we'll go ahead and take a glance at that severe thunderstorm warning that is over around the Gandy and Stapleton area, just to the northwest of Arnold. As we look at that severe thunderstorm warning, if I can get it to pop up here. While we wait on that to pop up, we'll take a look and see if there are any other reports that are coming in. Still 60-mile-an-hour radar indicated winds. Hail expected has gone down to 1 3/4 inches, so a little bit less hail being attributed to this storm. But again, the severe thunderstorm watch is for much of the listening area, including Chase, Custer, Frontier, Hayes, as well as Keith, Lincoln, Logan, McPherson, and Perkins counties until 9 p.m. this evening. That severe thunderstorm warning we were talking about on the western part of this storm, that is for southeastern Logan County until 3:45, and that storm was located near Gandy or Stapleton, moving southeast at 15 miles an hour. This storm has golf ball size hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds. Radar indicated people and animals outdoors will be injured, and you can expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles, as well as wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. And again, locations impacted with that storm include Gandy, Logan, Tarbaz Lake, Shanklin Bluff, as well as Hoagland. But again, that storm is going to be skirting right over the northern part of Arnold as it makes its way into our listening area. But again, our main concern is these 2 severe thunderstorm warnings that are stacked right on top of each other. This storm is going to be on Highway 2, if not already, very, very shortly, heavily impacting the communities of Myrna as well as Broken Bow. Also, the Victoria Springs State Recreation area in the line of this storm. And again, we'll continue to keep an eye on this storm as it moves its way further into our listening area. But again, both of these severe thunderstorm warnings stacked on top of each other. One of them is indicated as a severe thunderstorm warning because of that earlier storm. It is ongoing until 3:15. And then the other severe thunderstorm warning is going to be valid for another 15 minutes as well. So we'll continue to keep an eye on those storms as they move through the area. We'll keep the live stream going on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages as we take a moment to thank our sponsors. I'll kind of regroup, gather some more information, and pass it along to you here in just a few moments.
When you were a kid, did you enjoy putting together Legos, or were you more into the toys you could play with right out of the box? Well, at Ansley Lumber and Supply, they offer options for adults the same kind of way. Ask about whole house packages to get your new home standing in no time, or with their amazing offering of various home items from shingles, decking, and siding to windows, lumber, drywall, plumbing, and electrical, you can build the home of your dreams down to the last nail. Ansley Lumber and Supply since 1888.
Storm season has already shown the power it can pack when it bears down on Nebraska. We have already endured some bad storms this season, and Custer Public Power District wants to remind you how important it is to stay refreshed on storm safety tips. Stay as far away from windows and electrical sources as possible. Stay away from downed power lines. And if you're in a vehicle that is contacting a line, stay in the vehicle and call for help unless you absolutely must exit. These reminders brought to you by Custer Public Power District.
When you're stranded on the side of the road, there's only one number you need to know. That's Hunter's Towing at 870-1983. When you call at any time of day or night, Hunter and his faithful dog Scooter will be on their way. Hunter is based in Berwyn, but you'll rarely see his trucks there. You'll see them out serving the citizens of Custer County and the surrounding area. 870-1983 for Hunter's Towing.
Taylor Heating and Cooling, LLC, the guys you call when you're sweating and want to be chilly or shivering when you want to be warm. Based in Broken Bow, Taylor Heating and Cooling offers the area affordable service, repairs, and installation. Whether residential, commercial, or new construction, they welcome the opportunity to work for you. Give them a call and ask about their many services. 872-6196 or visit TaylorHeatingandCoolingBB.com.
Hey everyone, this is Tammy at Fixed Right Auto Body in Broken Bow. When you're taking your vehicle in for repair, go with the place that treats your vehicle like it's their own. That's Fixed Right. From paintless dent removal and hail damage repair to deer collisions and panel replacement. Come get an estimate today. Safety and attention to detail are always our top priority. That's Fixed Right Auto Body. We're just north of the railroad tracks on 10th Avenue in Broken Bow.
A severe thunderstorm warning is active in our area. Now is the time to take action. A warning indicates imminent danger to life and property. Take shelter in a substantial building and stay tuned to local broadcast information regarding possible increases in storm intensity. Large hail and damaging wind is occurring or will occur shortly at the locations described inside the severe thunderstorm warning.
Again, Jeremy Shipe with you in the KCNI KBBN studios. Again, the Husker pregame is running in the background, but we want to make sure to continue to keep you informed as that postgame plays in the background as the storm moves through our area. Again, we still have two severe thunderstorm warnings that are stacked on top of each other as they move their way through the area. This storm is on top of Highway 2 at this time, as the radar indication that you see in most locations across the web and on your apps is going to run anywhere from about 5 to 10 minutes behind on its loop. So again, as we are looking at this storm, it is most definitely on top of Highway 2, Myrna being heavily impacted at this time, Broken Bow going to be heavily impacted in a matter of moments as well. Again, both of these severe thunderstorm warnings were issued and remain in effect until about 3:15 for northwestern Custer County. They're both about the same shape, and they are both an indication of this storm that is moving at about the same rate. And I would venture to guess that the reason that these two severe thunderstorm warnings on the eastern part of this storm system are being stacked on top of each other is because of the eastern part of this storm and the western part of this storm kind of different, having different intensities, but also kind of being individual to themselves as well. We do have a new indication that came in a matter of moments ago, just indicating, again, the damage threats being considerable with this storm. Winds remain sustained at over 60 miles an hour. Hail at 2 inches again now. That dipped down to 1 3/4 inches for a little bit. But again, that 2-inch indication again coming up with this storm as it moves its way through Custer County. We'll continue to keep an eye on this storm as it has kind of lengthened out significantly over the last 20 to 25 minutes. The eastern part of this storm is in Myrna. The western part of the storm is clear over just north of Stapleton. And in fact, that part of the storm has maybe become the most intense cell of this storm, just north of Stapleton, moving its way to the east on into the other parts of this storm system. Again, that part just north of Stapleton and Gandy seems to be traveling a little bit more easterly than the rest of this storm, which is moving a little bit more to the south in comparison. But again, that severe thunderstorm warning is in the western part of our listening area, and that is issued to have 38 minutes remaining in it until 3:45 at this time. That was for the storm located near Gandy and Stapleton, moving southeast just barely, mostly east, at 15 miles an hour. That storm has golf ball size hail to go with its 60-mile-an-hour winds, while this storm that is moving through the Myrna and Broken Bow and Highway 2 area, in those areas, has 2-inch hail as well as 60-mile-an-hour winds. But again, we're not seeing any other weather spotter information coming in at this time. Everything we are seeing is all radar indicated at this point, with this severe thunderstorm warning that is issued until 3:15. So things are going to get a little bit interesting here as the storm continues to progress towards the eastern part of the severe thunderstorm warning area. We will either see these severe thunderstorms warnings be allowed to expire on time early, which we see quite often with storms, but this one seems to be picking up intensity as at this time. So would not really expect for the severe thunderstorm warning to be allowed to expire. I would guess we'll see a severe thunderstorm warning either extended, or we'll see a new severe thunderstorm area indicated over the community of Broken Bow as this storm moves through our listening area. Again, we'll continue to keep an eye on things, and I'll see if there are any new reports to pass along to you at this time. We'll keep the visual rolling on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages if you would like to swing over there and check out the live stream with a visual side of things available to you in it. That is available to you on the radio. We'll hear from our sponsors, who include Hunter's Towing, Taylor Heating and Cooling, Fixed Ride Auto Body, Custer Public Power, and Ansley Lumber and Supply. When we come back after a quick break, I'll get you caught up on any of the new information I have to pass along. When bad storms hit, the first thing you think about avoiding is the downed trees and debris. But Custer Public Power reminds you to keep an eye out for dangerous power lines too. If you see low-hanging or downed power lines, never assume that they don't have power to them. Assume they are energized and deadly, and stay away. Keep others away too, and make sure to report the location. Stay alert of dangers that can exist after the storm. This reminder from Custer Public Power in Broken Bow.
If you're wanting to build a new home but aren't sure which way to go, well, the first direction you should go is to Ansley Lumber and Supply. If a house or a barn dominium interests you, they do estimates for post-frame buildings. Ansley Lumber is proud to offer reliable brands of shingles, composite decking, siding, railing, windows, lumber, trusses, and more. Because you want your home to be strong and beautiful. Ansley Lumber and Supply, downtown Ansley, for projects big and small.
Whether you need your motorcycle towed or your semi towed, Hunter's Towing has the equipment and know-how to get you off the side of the road. Save this number in your phone now. You never know when you'll need to call Hunter, 870-1983. That's 870-1983 for Hunter's Towing. He's ready to hit the road at any time to help you out of a jam. Based in Berwyn, serving Custer County and beyond. Hunter's Towing at 870-1983.
Taylor Heating and Cooling, LLC, the guys you call when you're sweating and want to be chilly or shivering when you want to be warm. Based in Broken Bow, Taylor Heating and Cooling offers the area affordable service, repairs, and installation. Whether residential, commercial, or new construction, they welcome the opportunity to work for you. Give them a call and ask about their many services. 872-6196 or visit TaylorHeatingandCoolingBB.com.
Storms. They're nasty, mean, and the last thing they have in mind is watching out for your vehicle. When storms scratch or dent your ride, bring it to Fixed Right Auto Body in Broken Bow. Todd and the crew want to put their experience to work for you. They're happy to give you a free estimate. Deer are on the move no matter the season. If you have a close encounter that results in damage, bring it to Fixed Right. They'll work with your insurance agency to make everything even smoother. Just north of the railroad tracks on 10th Avenue in Broken Bow. Fixed Right Auto Body.
You're listening to severe weather coverage on Central Nebraska's news source. Here's Jeremy Shipe.
Again, thank you for joining me for severe weather coverage on KCNI, KBBN Radio. Dave Burney is on KCNI Radio and has continuing coverage over there as well. Again, we are in the postgame with the Huskers Radio Network. We have stepped away from that at the time being after the Huskers fall at Folsom Field in Boulder in that contest earlier today on KBBN Radio. We will go back to that postgame coverage if it is still running after these dangerous storms have moved away from our area. We were talking a little bit about the changes that might happen because of the severe thunderstorm that is moving through our area regarding an update on the warnings, and we just had a warning come through as I am talking to you. This National Weather Service in North Platte has issued a severe thunderstorm warning until 4 o'clock for northwestern Custer County as well. At 3:10, a severe thunderstorm was located 9 miles east of Arnold or 19 miles west of Broken Bow. It's moving still at the southeast at 15 miles an hour. It holds 2-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gust, and this is all radar indicated again at this time. Locations impacted include Broken Bow, Callaway, Myrna, Pleasant Hill, and Milldale. And again, this storm is coming into our area even further. It has already made its way down Highway 2. A less severe part of this storm skirted across Anselmo, as well as the Victoria Springs State Recreation Area, but the most intense part of this storm is kind of floating out in the middle of the country between the communities of Arnold, Myrna, and Broken Bow, kind of in that triangulated area. So as it continues to move to the southeast, a little bit closer to Highway 2 as far as the intense cell of this storm and towards Broken Bow, we'll of course continue to keep an eye on this. And here shortly, we'll hear from the National Weather Service EAS Emergency Alert System that will tell you all of that information I just gave you as well. But again, severe weather coverage will continue to be live right here in the KCNI KBBN studios with myself here on KBBN and Dave Burney over on KCNI. Again, move to an interior room on the lowest level of your home in order to find safety from these storms. And it looks like that relay is going to come through from the EAS system here in a little bit more in a little less than 2 minutes, rather. So again, that will be a repeat of the information I just gave you. A very unique situation here as this storm progresses. We currently have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings stacked on top of each other, and that's only going to be the case for about 1 more minute, as 2 of those 3 are going to be allowed to expire at 3:15. If they are allowed to expire, I would venture to guess that if they are extended, they will take some different kind of shape as this storm continues to move its way in between Callaway and Broken Bow, a little bit south of Myrna as well. So as we continue to look at the path of this storm, it's moving to the southeast at a rate of 15 miles an hour. It's just barely crawling across our listening area. The strongest part of this storm right now sits in a little triangulated area between the communities of Arnold, Callaway, and Broken Bow. The eastern part of this storm has just kind of traveled its way down Highway 2, impacting Anselmo, Myrna, and it's going to impact Broken Bow here shortly as well. But as we continue to keep an eye on this storm as it moves through the area, the most intense part of that storm is right smack dab in the middle of it. There's green and yellow indication on either side to the west and the east of this pink cell that's right in the middle that is holding that 2-inch diameter hail, as well as that 60-mile-an-hour wind intensity. Again, we haven't seen any other indications come in from storm spotters or other weather equipment on the ground to indicate anything other than what the radar is telling us at this time. As I kind of look at that again, this Custer County Jeremy Scheib back with you in the KCNI KBBN studios. Again, we were kind of ahead of the EAS, and that's kind of what happens when you're in the studio for live coverage already. So, again, just a repeat of the information I had just given you regarding this storm that those of you that are listening are having described to you, and those of you that are watching on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages are seeing in front of you at this time. Again, if this storm is impacting your area, you know, the last time that we had a storm move through our area, there were several people that popped in the chat box on the Facebook page and kind of let us know an unofficial look at kind of what is going on in their communities and their areas and where they were located and what they were seeing. So if you have any hail reports or anything like that that you would like to put in the comments, you are more than welcome to do that. If you would like to send us any pictures of the storm hail that is being dropped, you are definitely, when it is a safe moment for you to do that after the storm has passed, we welcome that as well. But again, just to kind of give listeners an idea of everything that's being indicated to us right now as far as our equipment here at KCNI KBBN Radio, it's all radar indicated at this point. Radar has continually said 60-mile-an-hour winds. That was clear back at the beginning of this storm, back in the 2 o'clock hour. But the hail damage, the hail side of things has been radar indicated as well. It's been right around that 1.5 to 2 inch size consistently, and it has not dropped off at all. So we'll continue to kind of keep an eye on that. But right now, this storm kind of maintaining its intensity and then also picking up its intensity as you see that purple and pink portion of this storm now. When it had just seemed like it was going to go away, it's now kind of picking up a little bit and getting a little bit more intense again. The radar indications you see about anywhere in the world on your computer or your apps or things like that are going to run about 5 minutes behind. So you always have to assume the speed of the storm in and where this storm intensity is going to be. Again, Broken Bow not going to catch as intense of a part of this storm as of the radar indication at this point. This most severe part of this storm is right smack dab in the middle of the Arnold, Callaway, and Broken Bow triangle right there. So, of course, we'll continue to keep an eye on this one. The community of Callaway, again, finding themselves kind of right in the line of this storm that's moving through the area. Of course, the eastern part of this storm has been traveling right along Highway 2, almost using Highway 2 as a border for about the last half hour to 45 minutes. And then, of course, that storm that is right between Gandy and Arnold as well, it is barely moving south. It's mostly moving to the east, and if that storm continues to pick up intensity and doesn't die off before it makes its way this direction, we'll of course continue to keep an eye on that one, as it might just be ending up to be a 1-2 punch for our immediate listening area right here along Highway 2 and Broken Bow, Myrna, and Callaway area as it comes through this area. But again, this severe thunderstorm warning that our listening area is currently under, issued by the National Weather Service in North Platte, is until 4 o'clock. That's 40 minutes from now. And when it was indicated, this was a 3:10 p.m. indication. It's been active for 11 minutes now. This storm at that time was 9 miles east of Arnold, 19 miles west of Broken Bow, moving just 15 miles an hour. Again, 2-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. This is radar indicated. You need to expect that people and animals that are outdoors will be injured, as well as hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. And you can expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees as well. Locations expected to be impacted by this storm system include Broken Bow, Callaway, Myrna, Pleasant Hill, and Milldale. Again, we'll continue to keep a look on this storm, and we'll continue to keep you updated on this storm as it moves through the area. Alicia in the chat box letting us know that they live right between Arnold and Callaway, and they have rain and high winds at this time. And that, as far as the radar goes, Alicia, that looks about right between Arnold and Callaway. Kind of more green and yellow right now. Looks like most of the storm's going to move more east rather than south. And if you're kind of in that area between Arnold and Callaway, unless parts of this storm turn a little bit more intense going forward, rain in that area might be about all that you see. Now, as far as the area between Arnold and Broken Bow, as well as Callaway and Broken Bow, radar not indicating that that is going to be the same case. If you can see my mouse, those of you that are watching on the video stream, you'll see that this pink area kind of started moving to the southeast a little bit less and started dipping south just at the end of this radar loop a little bit, kind of turning its direction a little bit more towards Callaway. We'll continue to keep an eye on that pink and purple area as it progresses, but it's definitely at its largest that we've seen it over the last 45 minutes to an hour, and it continues to kind of sit probably right about here as we anticipate where that storm is moving, which would be just north of Callaway as this storm system moves through its area, through our area. Again, this started as a small storm that was just south of Dunning, and it's kind of grown. It stretches now at the end of this storm loop on radar all the way from Berwyn to west of the Stapleton area. So again, this is going to sweep right through the area, and it is brought upon a humongous severe thunderstorm watch area for the Nebraska central area as well. So again, as we kind of anticipate where this loop is going to be, right around north of Callaway, northeast of Callaway is where I'm thinking that the strongest part of this storm is sitting right now. Again, rain being felt on the edge of this storm. But as far as that strongest part of the storm, we'll continue to kind of track that as it goes across the area. Callaway of community and the outlying areas most certainly need to start taking shelter and move to an interior room on the lowest level of your home, away from any windows, and prepare for this storm to impact the area. Again, we'll continue to gather information and pass it along to you. We'll step away for a quick moment. I'm going to take a look at a couple of different radar indicators that we have here and see if there are any on-ground reports that are going to flow in from our models as well. When I come back, I'll have more information for you here on KBBN Radio.
KCNI, KBBN, and SandhillsExpress.com studios with severe weather coverage. Here's Jeremy Scheib.
Again, thank you for joining me as these storms move through our area and, in this case, continue to intensify. We're tracking this storm that has brought a severe thunderstorm warning across a good portion of our listening area. We also continue to have a humongous severe thunderstorm watch that is across much of our listening area. Again, the Huskers radio network is still in the post game, but we are cutting in to bring you this severe weather coverage right here on KBBN Radio, as this severe weather certainly has our eyebrows raised and has us wanting to keep you informed as it moves through the area. As you look at the radar indication on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook live streams, you will see that the most intense part of the storm continues to be not just the central part, but as far as east to west length of this storm, it's also the center of that as well. The center of a storm cell itself is always going to be the most intense, but as far as the system goes, it just kind of is right there at the core, and you'll see at the end of that radar loop that it's kind of almost more of a hot dog shape as far as the length of this impact. And unfortunate to pass this word along, but it looks like that intense part of the storm is headed right towards the community of Callaway. Broken Bow kind of being spared by that more intense part of that storm, as is Myrna. It also snuck right into the east of Arnold, but there's another storm coming from the west that might impact part of the Arnold area as we continue to keep an eye on that storm. But again, Highway 2 has kind of become a border for the storm. It's almost like the storm ran into a wall formed by Highway 2, and then it started to dip south at a more intense and stronger angle. So again, as this storm continues to go through the area, we'll keep reporting on it. But Callaway, just incredibly bad luck with the last couple of storms that have come through the area, and I hope to have better information to pass along to as I look at a few different models here as far as wind speeds and hail size as well. Again, we haven't seen any radar indicated or ground reported indications of straight line winds coming through as a part of this storm as well. Again, we did just see a storm chaser that is 10 miles east-northeast of Arnold that is reporting hail in egg size diameter at 3:15. So not too long ago, about 15 minutes ago, he was 10 miles east-northeast of Arnold, and that storm chaser reported egg-size hail, which is kind of confirming that 2-inch diameter size that the radar was indicating to us. So again, that is our first report from on the ground as far as this storm goes. So we'll continue to keep an eye on this one as it moves through the area. Again, radar continues to indicate 60-mile-an-hour winds and 2-inch hail in diameter. So we'll continue to bring you this picture, and if you have anything that you would like to report from the area that you are at as you are watching the live stream today, feel free to drop some information in the chat box there as we continue to keep you informed on what different areas of this storm are doing as they come through the area. Let's talk a little bit about that storm that's off to the west, because it's coming a little bit closer to some communities that are in our listening area, more specifically Arnold. This is a storm that really started to develop north of Stapleton and Gandy, and it looked initially like it was going to travel straight east and not go towards Arnold, but now we're seeing in the radar loop here that maybe it's taking a little bit more of a turn to the south and might be impacting the north and easterly parts of the Arnold community, if not the Arnold community itself. So that severe thunderstorm is moving extremely slow as well. Again, this entire system moving just 15 miles an hour. And as we look at that severe thunderstorm warning that is on the western part of our listening area, that storm that I indicated to you is right around the Arnold area, just north of it. That severe thunderstorm warning is in effect right now, and the time limit on that one, let's see, it is until 3:45. So that just shows you how slow this storm is moving. It's sitting in that tiny little box right there, and it still has over 10 minutes left on the issuance of the severe thunderstorm warning. As far as the larger severe thunderstorm warning that is over much of our listening area, 26 minutes remains in that severe thunderstorm warning at this time. So that is going to be sitting around until about 4 o'clock. That is that storm that has the 2-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. The storm that is off to the west that is bringing in that severe thunderstorm warning just to the northwest of Arnold. That one also indicating 2-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So it's basically two pink areas of this storm that are holding hands and kind of going through the area with their 60-mile-an-hour winds and their 2-inch hail. And again, the only on-the-ground indication that we have is from a storm spotter a little bit more than 15 minutes ago. That storm spotter confirmed hail in the size of about 2 inches in diameter, or what he described as egg-sized. So again, we'll continue to look for some more reports coming in from on the ground as this storm continues to move through the area. If the storm moves through your area and it is safe to do so after you go outside, if you want to let us know kind of what's going on in your area so we can see some more on-the-ground reports, certainly would be happy to hear those reports and know some good news, most certainly, as far as when this storm comes through. And if you want to contact us through that chat box when it is safe to do so, definitely do not want anybody outside. You need to be in the lowest level of your home on an interior room away from as many windows as possible as this storm moves through the area. But again, as it becomes safe to do so and this storm moves through the area, let us know what impacts you saw or what kind of impacts you heard so that we can let the folks that are in this path of the storm ahead of it know kind of what to prepare for and what to expect. But right now, again, severe thunderstorm warning with 60-mile-an-hour winds and 2-inch diameter hail moving through our area in two different locations. Again, this storm sitting right above Callaway, if not on Callaway, in its strongest location, and right in between Callaway and Broken Bow. Again, it seems like this storm kind of hit Highway 2, and Highway 2 almost acted as a wall for it. The only thing east of Highway 2 we're seeing is kind of rain and some intense winds maybe, but the severe part of it has just skirted right along and gone to the southeast following Highway 2 at a rate of just 15 miles an hour. We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll hear from our severe weather sponsors. They include Hunter's Towing, Taylor Heating and Cooling, Fixed Right Auto Body, Custer Public Power District, and Ansley Lumber and Supply. When we come back, I hope to have some more reports to pass your way.
For 24-hour towing, winch and recovery, lockouts, and more, call Hunter with Hunter's Towing. He's based in Berwyn, ready to roll out to help you out of a tough situation. Hunter wants you to remember the Move Over law in Nebraska. It is the law to move over for any emergency vehicle with their flashing lights, including tow trucks and highway workers. Slow down, move over, and help make the job of law enforcement and emergency workers safer. When you need a tow, call Hunter's Towing at 870-1983.
Taylor Heating and Cooling, LLC, the guys you call when you're sweating and want to be chilly or shivering when you want to be warm. Based in Broken Bow, Taylor Heating and Cooling offers the area affordable service, repairs, and installation. Whether residential, commercial, or new construction, they welcome the opportunity to work for you. Give them a call and ask about their many services. 872-6196 or visit TaylorHeatingandCoolingBB.com.
In the age of the internet, everyone feels that there's a do-it-yourself solution to everything. When it comes to hail damage repair, there isn't a better solution than a shop that employs professionals who use state-of-the-art equipment and techniques. That's Fixed Right Auto Body. To get your ride back on the road looking sharp, Fixed Right is the place to talk to. Whether it's paintless dent repair or not, we work with insurance to make the process as smooth as possible. Literally, Fixed Right Auto Body in Broken Bow, just north of the police station on 10th Avenue in Broken Bow.
Live with continuing severe weather coverage from the KCNI KBBN studios, here's Jeremy Shipe.
Again, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for severe weather coverage on KBBN Radio. We do have a third severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. We talked about the severe thunderstorm warning that was to the northwest of Arnold, as well as the severe thunderstorm warning that stretched from just east of Arnold across the Broken Bow area. Well, those two severe thunderstorm warnings are essentially paired together now because there is another severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued right in the middle of those two. It is issued by the National Weather Service in North Platte. It is for southeastern Logan County as well as west central Custer County, and it is in effect until 4:15 this afternoon. At 3:35 moments ago, a severe thunderstorm was located near Arnold, or 13 miles east of Stapleton. This one is moving southeast at 20 miles an hour now, picking up a little bit of pace. Hazards continue to include 2-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. These continue to be radar indicated besides that storm spotter that is on the ground, indicating to us that he saw some egg-sized hail with this storm system as it moves through the area. Impacts include people and animals outdoors being injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles, and wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted from this particular storm include Arnold, Logan, and Pleasant Hill. This includes Highway 92 between mile markers 241 and 260. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. This storm is producing large hail. You need to seek shelter now inside a sturdy structure and stay away from windows. So now we have 3 different severe thunderstorm warnings. They're each individual. They each have a unique shape about them. The furthest west one is just north of Stapleton, and the furthest east one is just north of Berwyn and east of Broken Bow. So we've got quite the interesting look of severe thunderstorm warnings coming across our area now. And here in about very, very shortly, about 20 seconds, we're going to hear from the National Weather Service on that exact information that I just gave you regarding that third severe thunderstorm warning being added to the other two. So we'll wait on that report. And as you have a safe moment, too, if you are in a place where you can observe what is happening, feel free to drop a line in the chat box on YouTube or Facebook and let us know.
Hey everyone, this is Tammy at Fixed Right Auto Body in Broken Bow. When you're taking your vehicle in for repair, go with the place that treats your vehicle like it's their own. That's Fixed Right. From paintless dent removal and hail damage repair to deer collisions and panel replacement. Come get an estimate today. Safety and attention to detail are always our top priority. That's Fixed Right Auto Body. We're just north of the railroad tracks on 10th Avenue in Broken Bow.
Again, thank you for joining us for severe weather coverage in the KBBN studios. I'm Jeremy Shipe. We now have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. They overlap each other, and they stretch from just north of Stapleton to right above Berwyn and east of Broken Bow. Just had a moment to pop my head outside as you heard that EAS warning coming through. Here in Broken Bow, slight amount of sprinkles, a little bit cloudy, but definitely can tell that you look over towards the Callaway and Arnold area, and that is most certainly where the more severe part of this storm is going. And as we continue to look at this storm as it moves through the area, definitely moving towards the Callaway area, unfortunately. So those of you that are in the Callaway area certainly need to be in shelter at this time. Those of you in the Arnold area, the same goes for you, as this storm is on the western side of it. This storm that we've been tracking since it was north of Stapleton and Gandy is gaining intensity. It's got some pink and purple in the middle of it on the radar. That usually indicates intense winds and hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, 2-inch hail being indicated with this, and that section of the storm is becoming longer, and it is now dipping south to the south enough that it is, I can say with confidence that it is headed right towards Arnold. Same goes for Callaway. That storm on this radar loop is headed right towards Callaway, maybe more to the northeast part of the community. On Facebook, we did have Becky drop into the Facebook comment area saying that they had to pull over on Highway 92, just outside of Arnold, because it was raining and blowing and they couldn't see the road. They did have some pea-sized hail briefly in that particular area with this storm. Again, the only other official word that we have gotten on the ground was from a storm chaser that said that he reported hail in the egg size range, which is about that 2-inch radar indicated size that we have been reporting with this storm. We also did have a recent report that came across 3 minutes ago about that severe thunderstorm warning, continuing to radar indicate 60-mile-an-hour winds and 2-inch hail for Custer County, and that will be until 4 o'clock. So as we continue to keep an eye on these 3 severe thunderstorm warnings that are active in our listening area, we'll continue to track this storm as it moves through the area. And if we have any updates on what area the severe thunderstorm warning impacts, if any of those are allowed to expire early or are extended, we will continue to keep you informed on those. For the time being, we'll play a little bit of music, and when we come back, we'll continue to give you more updates on the severe weather that is moving through the central Nebraska area. EAS message that is coming through right now, and I'm going to let you know about what that is regarding. Again, those EAS alerts come in as soon as severe weather warnings are issued, and then we have a couple of minutes before it plays over the air. So while we're waiting for that to come across the air, I'll just let you know about it quicker than we can get it to you through the emergency alert system. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning issued by the National Weather Service for southeastern Custer County until 4:30. At 3:47, just a minute ago, a severe thunderstorm was located near Callaway, or 11 miles west of Broken Bow, moving southeast at 20 miles an hour. Again, just as has been the theme with the rest of this storm, 2-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It is radar indicated. Locations impacted with this particular section of storm include Callaway, Oconto, Lodi, and Pressey State Wildlife Management Area. It includes Highway 2 between mile markers 289 and 291. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. This storm is producing large hail. You need to seek shelter now inside a sturdy structure and stay away from windows. And again, we're about a minute and 40 seconds away from hearing that exact information coming across the air for you again. But again, if you are not looking at the live stream or any kind of radar loop at this time, this is truly a unique look for these severe thunderstorm warnings. The furthest to the west is just west of Stapleton. The furthest to the east was just east of Broken Bow and north of Berwyn. It now extends east of Berwyn and just northwest of Ansley. So we've got 4 severe thunderstorm warnings that are stacked on top of each other just barely, I would venture to say, holding hands right across our listening area, all the way across from Stapleton over to the Berwyn and Ansley area. Truly a unique look from this storm as it is stretched all the way across, just moving at 15 or 20 miles an hour. And again, this one is the severe thunderstorm warning coming through that is the furthest to the east. This severe thunderstorm warning will be active until 4:30 this afternoon. So again, as this storm continues to move across the area, it continues to pop up more severe thunderstorm warnings as a humongous severe thunderstorm watch area continues to be active for a large portion of south central Nebraska. Again, the 2 areas that are concerning us would be the area that is moving towards the community of Arnold, if not on top of it already and moving through Arnold, and this storm that is just north and northeast of Callaway. We'll hear that EAS issuance now.
p.m. Central Daylight coming down. Was located near Callaway, or 11 miles west of Broken Bow, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 2-inch hail and 60 miles per hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. Impact, people and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Callaway, Oconto, Lodi, and Pressey State Wildlife Management Area. This includes Highway 2 between mile markers 289 and 291. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. This storm is producing large hail. Seek shelter now inside a sturdy structure and stay away from windows. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 4:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time for the following county: Custer, Nebraska.
Again, Jeremy Shipe with you in the KCNI KBBN studios. I am on KBBN. Dave Burney is on KCNI Pure Country at this time. keeping you informed on these storms as they move through our area. We're getting a radar update here as this storm on the radar Loup is now showing where it is progressing. The biggest cell in this storm is just north of Callaway on radar. I would venture to guess that that storm is moving its way through Callaway right now, if not already to the southern part of Callaway. Again, the largest part of that storm, radar indicated, just to the northeast of Callaway at this time. Really crossing our fingers that that storm can miss the majority of that large group of homes in the community of Callaway, a community that certainly has felt the effects of several different storms over the last few months. The other storm that we are keeping an eye on is that storm that really developed just north of Stapleton. It has now moved its way east and then dipped down a little bit more south. It has lost a little bit of intensity. In fact, it dipped south so quickly that some of this intense part of the storm is going to miss Arnold just to the west, according to the radar picture we are looking at. But plenty of radar-indicated intensity is going to still be impacting Arnold and that area. Of course, we've heard the reports from Highway 92, and we've seen some of those comments come in our chat box as well. Becky coming in on the Facebook chat box saying that they had to pull over on Highway 92 just outside of Arnold because of the rain and blowing wind, and they had a little bit of pea-sized hail briefly at that location. As far as Highway 2 goes, not really seeing as much activity besides a little bit of rain sprinkle and maybe a little bit of breeze as far as our studios go right here in Broken Bow. Looks like earlier on in this storm, it looked like it was going to progress to the southeast and just travel right along Highway 2 and go about that direction, but it was very odd. It almost seemed like it hit Highway 2 like it was a wall and then just progressed straight south. And there's a little bit of rain and heavy rain indicated east of Highway 2, but for the most part, the severe part of this storm has hit the Myrna and Broken Bow area of Highway 2 and just taken a dive straight south. It's going straight south towards the Arnold and Callaway communities. Oconto, of course, right in the path of this storm as well, and that is certainly indicated with this newest issuance of a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, if you are not looking at a radar on our live stream currently, I'll kind of describe the area of this newest severe thunderstorm warning. It's just to the west of Broken Bow. The next corner is just west of Callaway. The furthest south corner is to the southwest of Oconto, and the furthest easterly point is just to the northwest of Ansley. So keeping an eye on that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, it is issued and has just over 30 minutes remaining in its issuance. It will, if it is allowed to expire on time, it will expire at about 4:30. And again, as has been the case with all of these storms so far tonight, extremely consistent in their hazards, 2-inch hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds with these storms. So again, we'll continue to keep a look on these storms, and we'll continue to update you a little bit as they move through our area. Right now, we're going to step away for a little bit of music. We'll see if we have any more updates that come across our desk, and then we will pass those along to you before we pop into the 4 o'clock hour.
weather coverage is on Central Nebraska's news source. Here's Jeremy Shipe.
Again, good afternoon. Jeremy Shipe with you in the KBBN studios. Just one update to pass along to you coming in moments ago. 5 miles north of Callaway, a public report coming in of a thunderstorm wind gust of an easterly gust of 70 miles an hour. That was at about 3:40, and that report finally came through at about 3:59. That was all time estimated by radar, so they kind of take that into account with when they received the report from when somebody was able to go out and safely take in that information from their equipment at home, and they just kind of estimate that and put it all together to bring us that report. Again, that was coming from 5 miles north of Callaway, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts with that severe thunderstorm that is moving through that area. As we look at the radar at this time, we go from having 5 different severe thunderstorm warnings strung together to having 3 separate ones now. There's just a slice taken out of this storm system as far as thunderstorm warnings go, from all the way again from Stapleton all the way over nearly to Ansley on Highway 2. And the most intense parts of these storms right around the Arnold and Callaway area. As the Loup progresses on this this radar indication, looks like that severe part that has moved through the Arnold area and is moving through that Arnold area right now is regaining intensity as it reaches the southern part of Arnold and moves on to the southeast at that 15 to 20 mile an hour clip. And the storm that is right around the Callaway area looks like radar indicates that maybe a little bit of that intensity died down before it hit Callaway, but it has a little short blip of intensity as it was just to the northeast of Callaway as well. So as those storms continue to move through the area and towards the Oconto area, as far as that storm on the eastern edge of this system, we'll continue to keep an eye on things and keep you informed. Again, another storm kind of building intensity and trying to rally over there around the Stapleton and Gandy area, traveling as well in that southeasterly direction at 15 to 20 miles an hour. That might be another round that travels through our listening area that we'll keep an eye on as well. Right now, we'll take a quick news, weather, and sports break, and when we come back, we'll pass along some more info for you.
Your unique rock station, KBBN Broken Bow.
CBS News Brief. A 6.8 magnitude earthquake that hit Morocco has killed more than 1,300 people. Peter Mercer lives in Marrakesh.
It started to shake, almost like a washing machine when it goes onto the spin cycle. It suddenly gears up and it violently shook the building. And you just think, I've got to get out of here.
President Biden and allies announced a plan to create a rail and shipping corridor linking India with the Middle East and eventually Europe. He spoke at the G20 summit in New Delhi.
Together, as part of this corridor, we're going to invest in a new rail line that will extend from the western port in Angola to the DRC, to Zambia, and ultimately the Indian Ocean.
Major storms are hitting the East Coast. The Weather Channel's Kelly Cass.
Big storms forming from New York and also southern New England, all the way down through the Carolinas and Georgia, especially down this afternoon and this evening when those winds could exceed 60 miles an hour.
CBS News Brief, I'm Wendy Gillette.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Brian Fenley.
College football, and there's a surprising ending to the final between Baylor and number 12 Utah in Waco.
What's Utah going to choose to do here? I'm surprised they don't have more men deep, to be honest with you right here. Utah going to bring pressure? Here they come. Sawyer Robertson, man in his face, ball toward the end zone, up and incomplete. Incomplete. That's the ball game. Whew.
Utah Radio Network. So, 20-13. Number 12 Utah gets it done against Baylor. Also getting it done was number 22 Colorado, 36-14 over Nebraska. So the Buffs improved to 2-0 on the year. Same record for number 7 Penn State as they obliterate Delaware, 63-7. Number 5 Ohio State wins convincingly. So does number 1 Georgia, 45-3 against Ball State.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Chance for scattered storms this afternoon, otherwise a blend of clouds and sun. Daytime highs approaching 85, south winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy skies. Tonight, scattered thunderstorms likely. Lows level off around 54. Scattered thunderstorms likely. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 66. Cloudy skies expected. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
You're listening to severe weather coverage on Central Nebraska's news source. Here's Jeremy Shipe.
Again, continuing to track these storms that are moving their way through our listening area at KCNI KBBN Radio. I'm Jeremy Shipe. Dave Burney is on KCNI Pure Country with severe weather coverage over there. Long line of storms that have been moving their way through our area throughout the afternoon for the last hour or so. And we do still have three different and unique severe thunderstorm warnings that are active in our area. One of them is sitting right on top of the Stapleton area. The other has Arnold right in the center of it. And the other one stretches from south of Broken Bow over to Callaway, south to Arnold, and over just to the west of Ansley. So as we continue to keep a look at those severe thunderstorm warnings, we'll take a glance at each of them and the systems that are around them. Again, the one to the east, that one is scheduled to expire in about 24 minutes. Same situation, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and 2-inch hail in the most severe part of that storm. The one that is sitting with Arnold right in the middle of it, that severe thunderstorm warning is ongoing until 4:15. And then the one that is sitting right around the Stapleton area to the western part of our listening area, that one is ongoing until 4:30. So we're going to have some different things possibly happening here in the next few minutes as these storms progress or die down. Each of these storms that I mentioned that are bringing that severe thunderstorm warning with them have a pink or purple indication in the center of them. That is likely the area that is carrying that 2-inch to 1.5-inch in diameter hail. That easterly part of the storm, the most intense part of it, has moved past Callaway and now appears to have its sights set on Oconto as it again picks up intensity, and that purple part of that storm gets a little bit larger. So if you are in that area, certainly should be moving towards some cover, if not already in that cover, the lowest level of your home, an interior room with as few windows as possible around. Again, that is the storm that has gone across the Callaway area and is now moving towards Oconto. Another strong indicated storm is right over the community of Arnold at this time, moving to the southeast at about that 15 to 20 mile an hour mark. It looks like it has gained a little bit more intensity at the cell of that storm just after the point that it passed through Arnold, and it is continuing to move to the southeast. We'll continue to track that one as it moves between Arnold and Callaway. And again, Stapleton and Gandy area, kind of the spur of all of these, a couple of these storms rather, that have gained intensity as they move to the south and east. But they have another little storm cell that has popped up right around the Stapleton and Gandy area that's moving just slightly to the south, more to the east in the direction of the Arnold area. Again, those are the three severe thunderstorms that we are tracking. They're all kind of tied together by a little bit less intense rain and slight wind. But those are the three cells as a part of this storm system that are moving through our listening area. We'll continue to keep an eye on those and keep you informed on them. Right now, we're going to take a break with a little bit of music, and I'll gather any more new information that is made possible and pass it to you here in a moment.
and Broken Bow. Todd and the crew want to put their experience to work for you. They're happy to give you a free estimate. Deer are on the move no matter the season. If you have a close encounter that results in damage, bring it to Fixed Right. They'll work with your insurance agency to make everything even smoother. Just north of the railroad tracks on 10th Avenue in Broken Bow. Fixed Right Auto Body.
Custer Public Power reminds you to be alert of the possibility that storm debris can hide downed power lines. If you see low-hanging or downed power lines, assume that they are energized and deadly. Stay far away, keep others away, and report the location. When bad weather hits, always take time to be extra cautious when you're out and about. You can learn more about storm safety at safeelectricity.org. Keeping your power on and helping you stay informed, Custer Public Power.
Tie downs, straps, hooking up the trailer, backing up the trailer, undoing the straps, unloading the trailer, parking the trailer. Then you get to start the project. We'll skip straight to getting to work with the help of Ansley Lumber and Supply with their offering of delivery. The only question is, what new hobby will you pick up with that spare time? From whole home packages to reliable brands of shingles, decking, windows, premium lumber, and more. Ansley Lumber, downtown Ansley.
Taylor Heating and Cooling, LLC, the guys you call when you're sweating and want to be chilly or shivering when you want to be warm. Based in Broken Bow, Taylor Heating and Cooling offers the area affordable service, repairs, and installation. Whether residential, commercial, or new construction, they welcome the opportunity to work for you. Give them a call and ask about their many services. 872-6196 or visit TaylorHeatingandCoolingBB.com.
Live from the KCNI, KBBN, and SandhillsExpress.com studios with severe weather coverage. Here's Jeremy Scheib.
Again, tracking these storms that are moving their way through on this Saturday afternoon in our KCNI KBBN studios. I'm Jeremy Scheib. We do have one of the three severe thunderstorm warnings that is set to here in a moment expire. We'll see if that will be allowed to happen or if it will continue on. The severe thunderstorm warning around the Stapleton area, as well as the one that goes from the Callaway area down to Oconto and just south of Berwyn, is also set to expire at about 4:30. So we'll see if that is allowed to happen. 4:15 is upon us. We'll see what different things change here on the radar. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is coming up right on the southern border of Custer County. That is for northeastern Dawson County in south central Nebraska. That is until 5:15 this afternoon. That is because of a severe thunderstorm that was located over Oconto, moving southeast at 20 miles an hour with 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. Again, radar indicated, and locations impacted with that particular storm indicated as Eddyville. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. So that one has popped up down there in Dawson County, just south of Custer County. The one that we were talking about that was in between the other two we have here in our listening area was allowed to expire. So we're down to two severe thunderstorm warnings in our area. They have issued a special weather statement, though, that has 43 minutes remaining on it regarding a thunderstorm that is moving through the area in about that same spot. That is a strong thunderstorm near Arnold or 21 miles southeast of Stapleton. It is again moving southeast at 15 miles an hour. The reason that it's not a severe thunderstorm warning and it is a special weather statement is because the wind gusts have died down to 50 to 55 miles an hour and the hail size has died down to about nickel size. So you put that all into account, and that is why we have a indication of a special weather statement instead of a severe thunderstorm warning. There is still a little bit of pink in that storm as it moves through the area, but right now they are not indicating that that warrants a severe thunderstorm warning. We still do have the severe thunderstorm warning right around the Stapleton area. We also have the other one we mentioned that goes from Callaway just slightly to the north, not quite reaching Broken Bow, then to the east to the southwest of Berwyn and Ansley, and then down across Oconto in south central Custer County. Those two storms are moving through the area again southwest or southeast, between 15 and 20 miles an hour. Again, not seeing any recent indications as far as any new on-the-ground reports with these storms. We'll see if we have any updates there. One new issuance, the radar indication with that storm, as we mentioned, with that severe thunderstorm warning in Dawson, is calling for 1.25 inch hail, as well as 60-mile-an-hour winds. Let's see if there's any new reports regarding the other storms that are in Custer County. Let's see, just after 4 o'clock, about 7 minutes ago, the severe thunderstorm warning that was continued until 4:30 that we talked about, that was for 70-mile-an-hour winds and 2-inch hail. Again, the 70-mile-an-hour wind is now not radar indicated, it is observed. That is because of that report of 70-mile-an-hour wind 5 miles north of Callaway. So now they can call that as observed rather than radar indicated. One severe thunderstorm warning that was allowed to expire for Custer County, if you're just joining us, was the one that was right in the middle of the two other storms. It was sitting right on top of the Arnold area. They are still calling for nickel-sized hail with that storm that is moving to the south of Arnold on towards the Callaway area, but it has died down to 50 to 55-mile-an-hour winds, as well as nickel-sized hail, so it only warrants a special weather statement at this time. We'll continue to keep an eye on this storm as it moves through the area. Again, these storms stretching from Stapleton all the way down to the Oconto area and as far north as Anselmo, although Anselmo and Myrna and Broken Bow with this storm system mostly getting a little bit of wind and a little bit of much needed rain. But Highway 2 almost acting as a wall for this storm. Early on in the storm really looked like it was going to progress across the area and definitely go across Highway 2, but it almost kind of hit a wall like Highway 2 had the China wall sitting on it, and the storm just went around it. One other severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire early. That is the one that was sitting right on top of the Stapleton and Gandy area. So that indicates that that storm is also maybe a little bit less intense than it appeared to be moments ago, but it again changes form and goes from a severe thunderstorm warning to a special weather statement. Again, that is because it has died down to wind gusts of 50 to 55 miles an hour and nickel-sized hail. And this is the storm that is moving from that Stapleton and Gandy area on towards to the south and east towards the southern part of Arnold. So we've got two special weather statements as well as a severe thunderstorm warning. Most intense part of that storm sitting right there between Callaway and Oconto. If you are in the Oconto area, you most certainly need to be seeking shelter in the lowest interior room of your home with the least amount of weather of windows around. We'll continue to keep an eye on these severe thunderstorms as they move through our area. Hope to have some updates to pass along to you here shortly. Again, the one severe thunderstorm that we are looking at around that Callaway and Oconto stretch along the highway there is the most intense part of this storm that is left, and we'll know more information about that hopefully a little bit before 4:30 when that severe thunderstorm warning is expected to expire. We'll step away for a little bit of music. I'll gather some more information and pass it along to you here shortly on KBBN Radio.
Callaway District Hospital and medical clinics.
Live with continuing severe weather coverage from the KCNI KBBN studios, here's Jeremy Shipe.
Good afternoon again, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to KBBN for severe weather coverage. We are online at kbbn.com, and you can also listen to us anywhere in the world on the free KBBN apps. We are also continuing to be live with video coverage of a looping radar on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages. As we continue to bring you more information on these storms that move through the area, we're a little bit less than 3 minutes away from seeing what is going to be made of the severe thunderstorm warning, which sits south of Broken Bow. It has one corner on Callaway, one corner in between Callaway and Broken Bow. The other corner on the southern edge is down at Oconto, and the other is just to the southwest of Ansley. So as we continue to wait to see what's going to happen with that severe thunderstorm warning at 4:30, I'll let you know a little bit about how things have progressed through the day. This all kind of started with a storm that was spotted just north of Stapleton moving across the area, and it's all just kind of cascaded from there. It almost seems like each one of these storm cells has kind of first become radar indicated right around that Stapleton and Gandy area, and then everything just kind of builds and progresses to the southeast at 15 to 20 miles an hour from there. At one point, we had 4 different severe thunderstorm warnings overlapping each other in different shapes all the way from Stapleton and Gandy across our listening area all the way over to the Ansley area. We have reduced that down over the last 15 to 20 minutes, and we do just have that one last severe thunderstorm warning, which is between the Callaway and Oconto area. I am happy to pass along word that the severe thunderstorm that is inside of that section of severe thunderstorm warning area has de-intensified as far as the radar goes. We'd no longer see any pink or purple indication with that storm. It's all gone down to red, which kind of leans a little bit less from the side of hail and a little bit more towards the side of intense wind and rain. So that is a good thing to pass along to you. And it appears that it was doing that just as it was reaching the Oconto area. Now, that is not to say that that storm cannot produce hail. It is just being indicated by radar that it is less likely to produce as large of hail or as intense of winds. So as we continue to look at that radar, as we track this storm across the area, we have 2 severe weather statements. And then we have that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning we were talking about most recently is ongoing until 4:30, which we are less than 60 seconds away from. So we will go ahead and continue to wait and see if that severe thunderstorm warning is going to be allowed to expire. And we do have a new message that is coming along. And in fact, that one will sit there for the moment. But another one is going to come along, and it's going to sit right on top of that severe thunderstorm warning that is indicated as being a part of Dawson County. So those two kind of overlap each other, and then the one in Dawson County is kind of overlapped with this one that just was issued in Custer County. So this severe thunderstorm warning is because of a severe thunderstorm located over Oconto, or 17 miles south of Broken Bow, moving southeast at just 15 miles an hour. The hail, as I had indicated before, that threat has gone down significantly. This radar indication is now of quarter-size hail. Wind gusts of 60 miles an hour still, though. This is radar indicated at this time. Hail damage to vehicles is expected, and you can expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted by this storm, obviously Oconto, as well as Burr Oak, Pressey State Wildlife Management Area, and Cumbro. This includes Highway 183 near mile marker 73. So again, for your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. But we are happy to report that it sounds like this severe thunderstorm warning, which kind of takes a little bit of a different shape as we're looking at it, and it moves on its way down towards Eddyville, Sumner, and Miller. Takes a little bit different of shape, but has de-intensified and kind of a little bit less hail. and still a little bit of wind with this one. 60 miles an hour indicated with this storm. But again, the hail is the big thing as we see that pink and purple come out of the radar, and that kind of changes to more of a look of quarter-size hail as far as the reports are coming in. As we kind of check out this storm in other areas, those two special weather statements that are just east of Gandy and Stapleton, and from Arnold to Callaway, those continue to be in effect. Again, kind of the same sort of thing. The difference there, those being special weather statements, the reason for that is those are only winds between 50 and 55 miles an hour. It's when you get at 60 miles an hour and above that you start seeing these severe thunderstorm warnings come through. So that storm right around the Oconto area headed towards Eddyville and Sumner is doing just enough to justify putting a severe thunderstorm warning out. The two storms between Stapleton and Callaway that are kind of meshing to become one storm at this time, they are not doing enough to bring about a severe thunderstorm warning. So that's kind of the situation. For those of you that are listening on the radio, tried to describe that the best I could. Again, one severe thunderstorm warning from Oconto stretching down into Eddyville and Sumner into Dawson County, and a little bit less intense storm over there east of Stapleton on down towards the Callaway area.
A severe thunderstorm warning is active in our area. Now is the time to take action. A warning indicates imminent danger to life and property. Take shelter in a substantial building and stay tuned to local broadcast information regarding possible increases in storm intensity. Large hail and damaging wind is occurring or will occur shortly at the locations described inside the severe thunderstorm warning.
Again, indications on radar and the models that I am looking at are showing that this storm that is right around the Oconto area headed towards Eddyville, Sumner, and Miller is doing just barely enough to be considered a severe thunderstorm warning, but it is still such, and you need to seek shelter on an interior room, in an interior room on the lowest level of your home, away from as many windows as possible. Again, this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect around the Oconto area, and there is a separate one that is active in the Eddyville, Sumner area of Dawson County. Again, 39 minutes remains on this storm. It's kind of crazy to think about because this was issued not that long ago. It is going to be active all the way until another 39 minutes go by, and the storm is already right on the edge of where that indication is. It's just that it's moving so darn slow. It's only going 15 or 20 miles an hour, so it's taking about 40 minutes for it to move from about the spot right in between Callaway and Oconto all the way down to the Eddyville area. It's taken about 40 to 45 minutes for it to travel that stretch. So very slow-moving storm, and as it continues to progress through the area, we'll keep an eye on it, and if we have any changes on watches or warnings, we'll keep you informed on those. If you're not already, you can tune into the video stream. It's available to you on the Sandhills Express YouTube and Facebook pages. We've got a picture of the radar up there for you. Right now, we're going to send it to a little bit of music, and when we come back, I'll pass along any new information we have received. Here's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. barely justifying a severe thunderstorm warning. That cell in the middle of that storm that's right around the Oconto area has shrunk. There's no pink or purple being indicated in any part of this storm all across the listening area at all, let alone that cell that is at that severe thunderstorm level around Oconto. The only thing that is justifying that severe thunderstorm warning at this time is that the winds are just barely strong enough to justify it. There is a little bit of hail in there. However, it has been indicated by radar that has shrunk down to nickel size, nowhere near the egg or 2-inch size that it was indicated earlier on when it comes to this storm. Now, there is a report that came in with a storm 6 miles northeast of Gandy. That would be right around the Stapleton area as well. A public report came in when that storm was a little bit more intense of hail of quarter size. That'd be 1 inch in diameter. The caller reported holes punched in an outbuilding roof. Again, that is time estimated from radar at about 3:22. So again, that was a significant amount of time ago. But again, the fact that those reports are coming in now indicates that folks were in shelter like they should be and are now going out to assess the damage as those storms have moved through the area. So some pretty intense storms moving through the area, and I'm sure a lot of areas received some pretty intense hail and some wind, and we'll, of course, continue to gather those reports as they come in and pass those along to you. But right now, we do just have that one severe thunderstorm warning that is right around the Oconto area, stretching down to the Custer and Dawson County line, as well as that severe thunderstorm warning that is in the Dawson County area, stretching just to the northeast of Cozad all the way over the top of Eddyville and Sumner. And again, that severe thunderstorm warning that is in south central Custer County still has 29 minutes remaining on it. It might make it that 29 minutes. Well, actually, it just expired. So it just expired as I was going into whether or not it was going to stick around or not. It has been allowed to expire. That means as far as Custer County goes, all we have right now are special weather statements indicating winds between 50 to 55 miles an hour and nickel or pea-sized hail. So I love passing along good news, and that's a little bit of it for you as we continue to track these storms that move through the area. We'll step away for a little bit more music, and when we come back, I'll give you any updates, and it looks like this storm is really kind of de-intensifying as it makes its way the remainder of the way through south central Custer County. Again, thank you so much to the sponsors that allow us to be bringing you severe thunderstorm coverage right here on KBBN, as well as with Dave over on KCNI. He's been live as well. They include Custer Public Power District, Ansley Lumber and Supply, Hunter's Towing, Taylor Heating and Cooling, and our friends at Fixed Right Auto Body. Like I said, some music. We'll come back. I'll give you another update, and we'll see if we'll be allowed to return to regular programming or if we'll have some continued coverage coming your way if this storm rears its head again. Here's the sounds of Uncle Cracker on your real rock station, KBBN.
You don't know how you
his signature song. In 1982, after the highly successful album Moving Pictures, Rush released their 9th studio album, Signals. It features Subdivisions, a song that becomes a regular part of their live repertoire. Happy birthday to songwriter, record producer, Rock Hall inductee, and one half of the duo, The Eurythmics. Dave Stewart turned 71 today. And that's a look at today, September 9th in rock history.
Jeremy Scheimp with you in the KBBN studios, checking in one last time as it looks like things are pretty intensified as far as our listening area goes in this severe weather. As I zoom out and kind of look at the entire state, we're really about the only activity. There's a little bit of activity just south of Atkinson, right around the O'Neill area, and then quite a ways north of Sargent, right around the Chambers area. But besides that, this is the biggest storm in the entire state, and brought along some much-needed rain, but unfortunately it had to bring that severe side of it with it as well. So I really hope that the reports that come out of the other side of this do not include as much hail as this storm was indicating on radar, but we'll just kind of wait and see what those reports are as we go forward. So again, we'll keep an eye on things here in our KCNI KBBN studios. For the time being, we're going to return to regular programming. If another severe thunderstorm warning is indicated throughout the next few hours, we will, of course, be back in the studios bringing you live coverage here on KBBN Radio. It is worth noting that the pink area, which is a pretty large area of south-central Nebraska, is going to remain being in a severe thunderstorm watch for the next few hours. So, of course, we'll keep an eye on that as well. Thank you for joining me for severe weather coverage. Thank you for trusting KBBN Radio to inform you on severe weather live in the studio when it enters the area. We'll close by thanking our sponsors that allow us to be here bringing it to you. They include Custer Public Power District, Ansley Lumber and Supply, Hunter's Towing, Taylor Heating and Cooling, and Fixed Right Auto Body. We'll return to regular programming on KBBN.
Real rock.
Hi, this is Mick Jagger.
Only real rock.
Hello, this is Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath.
And nothing but real rock. 95.3 KB.
And she was lying in the grass, and she could hear the highway breathing, and she could see a nearby factory. She's making sure she is not dreaming. See the lights of her neighbor's house. Now she's starting to rise. Take a minute to concentrate, and she opens up her eyes. The world was moving, she was right there with it, and she was. The world was moving, she was floating above it, and she was. And she was. And she was.